Alright, good afternoon everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be pulling apart the front suspension. So we're going to pull apart the front suspension. I'm going to take apart the brakes, knuckle, pretty much just everything that's in this area. I'm going to take it apart just so I can order all the new bushings, because again, it's a 20-year-old car, so I need new bushings, I need new ball joints. I do plan on swapping out some of these parts for performance aftermarket parts, like the upper control arm, part of the lower control arm, and then of course there's just the bushings and stuff, like the tie rod end needs to be changed out, the ball joints, and then one of the bushing slash bearings that go in the back corner under here. I can't show you. While I'm at that, I'm also going to take this fender liner out and remove all the cables, wires, and hoses out of the wheel well, so that way I can actually strip and undercoat the wheel wells. I don't think I'm going to use the same stuff that I used for the bottom of the car. Bad news is it actually didn't stick well. I'm going to use some self-etching primer and redo it again. Sadly, I wish I didn't have to redo it, but you know, what am I gonna do? I'm debating if I want to use bed liner or find something a little more durable. I haven't been able to find any coatings that are like really durable, like rubberized coatings. I don't know where to find those, but I definitely want to do something different for the wheel wells, because the wheels are going to be throwing up a lot more rocks, sticks, and such, and it's going to impact the wheel wells, so I want to protect them as much as I possibly can. I have also planned to swap out the 4x100 hub that comes on the Acura GS, and I'm going to swap it out for the Integra Type R 5x114.3 hub. So that way the fronts and rears match, because the rears are going to be the 5 lug. I want the fronts to be 5 lug so they match. I'm debating if I want to pull out the axles now and just leave them out for the time being. The car's not going to be driving for anytime soon, so having the axles in, because I figured if I take the axles out now, that way when I go to pull the engine transmission out, I don't have to then pull the axles while I'm at it. I can just do it now and make it easier. I guess I'll start in on the front suspension. I don't have any of the parts yet, so I'm probably just gonna be doing a disassembly this week, sadly. I wish I could do installation, but it's probably just gonna be taking apart and refurbishing older part. That's just about it. I will not be keeping the discs, the rotors and calipers, because they won't fit the bigger hubs or the different hubs. So I'm gonna see if I can get some ITR rotors and calipers, or go with a bigger brake kit if I can find one. It's hard to find parts that fit the Integra Type R that aren't like super expensive or really hard to get your hands on. So I'm gonna start disassembling the right side, and then I'll move to the left side. I'm gonna stick to the front because I don't want to touch the rear till I get the all-wheel drive kit, and I have to do measuring for the all-wheel drive kit, so I don't want to mess with anything in the rear for the time being. So let me get started on the front end. I got the crowns off 2, and then I got the ball joint out of 1. The problem is I left the nut on, so now it's trapped and I can't undo it. So I'll have to deal with that tomorrow. Sorry if I'm rushing, the camera's really low in battery. I'm gonna go plug in the camera. Meanwhile, I'm gonna knock out those bolts because I need to get this stuff done. So, see you in a bit. Good morning. Day 2 of pulling apart the front suspension. We got the passenger side of the car somewhat done. I need to get a ball joint separator to separate the ball joints from the knuckle and the upper control arm. I was gonna go get it, but then I was like, I should probably do the driver's side, then get the ball joint separator so I can knock them out all in one go and then return the tool. On the site though, it says that they do not have it. So I gotta call up and find out before I even drive over there for no reason. But before we do that, let's get started on the driver's side. I'm gonna get to it. Oh, I also did take care of the axle nut yesterday with impact because I didn't feel like dragging it out today, so I thought ahead. Work smart, not hard. Close enough. Well, I have packed up work because, well, I don't know if you can hear in the background, but it's thundering hard. It hasn't started raining yet, but there's quite a bit of lightning and thunder. Probably not good to be working next to a hunk of metal. So I packed up. I did check the weather, and technically the rain's supposed to go around us, but that's not boding too well. So I'm gonna probably take a break from it for the time being. Got the caliper off, got the bottom part of the coil over, ABS was out. Pretty much took apart as much as I could before storms set in. I actually put everything into little Ziploc bags and labeled them with a Sharpie. Anything that didn't fit in a Ziploc bag, I just put into a Rubbermaid. See, that is everything. Obviously it's kind of covered in stuff, but every bolt is labeled, or at least in the bag labeled. Parts are in there. I wish the storm would pass so that way I could finish up because I'm on a deadline here. I need to go to AutoZone and pick up a ball joint separator, and it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna make my way indoors now. Oh, that's hail. Never mind. Raining with a little bit of hail. Not the end of the world, but it means I can't work on the car right now because I don't have a garage, shop, or anything that would protect me from the elements, which is disappointed, but again, I'm not rich. So I'll start in on it if it stops raining. More than likely, I'll just have to start up tomorrow, which means I will have to do a lot tomorrow instead of just sectioning off today. But I digress. Welcome to the elements. I'll update you if I get to go back outside and work again, because it looks like it's actually cooling off. But I'll be right back. Well, the rain has kind of taken a break, so I'm gonna see if I can get some of this done. It should start raining, I think, in 15 minutes or so, and then I'll have another break, and then 45 minutes it's really gonna pour apparently. I'm just gonna kind of do it on and off and make that how that's gonna work. So there might be a bit of iffiness in between the rainy part, so let's get started while we still have time. Finally, got the passenger side knuckle off in the rain, mind you. Passenger door side, let's recap. I got the coil loafers off both sides. I got the knuckle off both sides. And I got the upper control off on both sides. Control arm off, same thing. The tie rod on the other end, I tried putting pliers on it to keep it from spinning. That didn't work. And then resulted to cutting the bolt. Cutting the ball joint. Again, I'll be replacing it, so it doesn't really matter. It was just that I didn't have I have a cutoff wheel. The problem is the 90 broke, so I couldn't use the cutoff wheel. I have one on order, but it won't get here for another 2 weeks. I had to do it by hand, which took a lot of time. As you can see, it's actually, what time is it? I think it's like 6 or 7 o'clock right now. So it's getting dark out. I'm gonna pack up, and then we're gonna restart this tomorrow. Hopefully I can get the lower control arm. I'm debating if I want to take the tie rods out. I might leave them in, depending. I do need to take the brakes, the brake lines out. And I'll probably go to AutoZone and get a axle puller tomorrow so I can pull the axles out. And then hopefully by then, if there's enough time, I will take the wheel liner out and start the process of taking all the coatings off. It's been a long day. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not this wet, and hopefully it does not rain. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 3 of fixing or taking apart the suspension. I couldn't get any work done last night just because all the storming. I'm gonna have to kind of finish it up today. I've decided I'm gonna pull the axles because I actually ruined the passenger side axle. Whatever, I'm swapping the axles out anyways for CRV axles so I can do the all-wheel drive setup. I also messed up the passenger side tie rod. Again, that's gonna be changed as well. I don't know if I'm gonna pull out the tie rods. I'm just gonna do the axles and lower control arms. And it looks like I might have to do the sway bar at it because it's kind of like wrapped around the lower control arms. So I'm gonna do that. And more than likely I will pull the fender liners out and then start the stripping process of pulling out or removing the coating. That's the plan for today. Hopefully I can get all that done by the end of the day because I'm on a time crunch. So let's get to it. Now I'm probably just gonna clean up real quick and then let them dry. I'm debating if I will have enough time for them to dry and then start work today, or if I'm gonna have to either put it off till tomorrow or next week. Just like that's the thing, is there's so much of the body I need to strip and recoat. I'd love to, make a video on it, but I've already made one, so I might just do it mostly off camera. But I'm gonna pack up, or at least organize the area, and wait for it to dry. See you in a bit. I was planning on actually doing more this week, but I can't because I do not have any new parts, and I made the mistake of not ordering the parts when I should have. My mistake. I'm gonna pack up the old parts till when the new parts show up. I can then reassemble everything. Probably next week is when I'll actually be, I don't know what I'm gonna do next week. I'm hoping next week that I could actually start taking apart the old parts. Right there. Taking apart the old parts and putting them in the blasting booth and taking off all the rust, priming and painting, so that way they're ready to go back onto the car when I get the new stuff. Obviously I'm keeping maybe one part out of all that. Gotta get started somehow. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna do for next week since I don't think the parts will be here by next week. I guess this will be the end of today's video, or this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below. And if you really want to come back and see more progress on the car, subscribe and hit the notification button. It helps a lot. And I will see you next week.